Denise.
And I'm Georgie.
And we're the Happy Vegan Couple. Back with another great recipe for you. What you going to make today, Georgie?
We are going to make, can you guess? Maybe? Nope. Apple pie.
A really healthy but delicious apple pie. So I got to tell you, we got this recipe from a friend who shared it, our friend Anthony Macello. And what really struck me is that he said, this pie is so healthy, he tells his kids, go eat it for breakfast.
Yes.
Right? Because it's so good for you. None of that, typical grocery store apple pie, or even if you make it in your own kitchen with like white flour and tons of sugar and all that fat. Wait till you see what he's going to use. This is great.
It's actually basically the same things that we eat in the mornings in our oatmeal.
Well, don't give it all away yet. So, I just want to tell you one other thing about Anthony. I did an interview with him about when he transitioned to whole food plant-based eating when he was in his 30s. And it made such a difference for his life. He lost a massive amount of weight. He got rid of these health conditions that were really bothering him. And it's an amazing story. So I hope you'll go look for his interview on the YouTube channel of ours, Happy Vegan Couple. Find the interview where it says, Meet Anthony. And the other thing I want to tell you, he got so inspired about how whole food plant-based eating made such a tremendous difference in his life that he co-founded a service with a medical doctor who is also plant-based, Dr. Lori Marbus, and they created this great business called Plant-Based Telehealth. You can find them on the web, plantbasedtelehealth.com, and you can do a consult with a doctor who understands all about plant-based nutrition. Just $150 for 30 minutes. And there's more than one doctor there that you can talk to, and they're covering almost all 50 states in America at this point, right? So I want you to check that out because it's a great service, and I know a lot of people would love to talk to a plant-based doctor since the regular doctors don't learn any nutrition in medical schools, so to speak. Right. Anyway, so back to the apple pie. We hope you'll enjoy this recipe. I can't wait for you to watch Georgie make it. It's not hard, is it?
No, very simple. 2 different steps and you're ready.
All right, so let's go. See you on the other end.
Okay, let's get started on this delicious apple pie. This is some of the ingredients that we're using is raisins, rolled oats, medjool dates, walnuts, and cinnamon. And of course, apples. So let me go ahead and get these out of the way here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the crust. And I'm using my food processor here. My ingredients for the crust are going to be oats, walnuts, cinnamon, dates, and almond milk. Soy milk, I'm sorry. What I want to show you first is how I do my dates. Our dates come with pits in them. So I just take and I slice down the center, split it open, and you can take the pit out. You don't want to leave the pit in because it'll mess up your blender pretty bad. See how easy it comes out? Sometimes there'll be the little nub from where the dates were connected to the palm tree. Take those out. That one's empty. Now I'm gonna put my dates in the food processor first to chop them up before I go on to the other things. Oops, let's make sure that that's down. Okay. And I'm just going to pulse these a few times. I'm not going to turn it on all the way. I'm just going to pulse. Oops, is it turned on? No. One of those glitches. This is saving me from hand chopping by doing this. And that looks about right if you can see the pieces that are in there. They're all chopped up. The next step is going to be adding the walnuts, the oats, the cinnamon, and we've got a little bit of soy milk here. I don't want to put a lot in at one time because what I want to do is get a consistency where it's going to like clay or something like that. Mix this up together. bit of the soy milk. Yeah, see how it's starting to come together? Let's see what we got. A little bit more, just a tiny bit. This is going to be our crust. Okay. Okay, I think that's a little bit more liquid.
What we love about this crust is that we're not using any white refined flour. We don't have to use any butter or oil. All very healthy ingredients. Oats, walnuts, medjool dates.
You can see how it's kind of balled up a little bit. You can make a little ball out of it. That's exactly what I wanted. So what I'm using here is a quiche, 8-inch quiche pan that's 1.5 inches deep. You can use a pie tin or anything else, but I like this because I'm going to be taking it out of the pan as of just to show everybody. Put this over here. We'll use the spatula to get the rest out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press this down in. Use one of my little dishes here.
Oh, that's a good trick.
It's a little sticky though. Usually like a glass will work. Just use the spatula. And we're just going to push this around down into the bottom.
Another reason we like this crust is it's very tasty, and unlike some crusts for some of the plant-based pies, this one doesn't have way too many dates in it, which makes it like extra rich. This one's got enough sweetness, but not over the top.
Okay, now what I do is I have a little long teaspoon. I remember people knew about these, but it was long enough that you could stir up your tea and sugar. So I'm just going to take this around the ridges and push it down. You can see over this way.
And what do we get from these wonderful ingredients? Well, of course, the oats, they give us soluble fiber, which helps take out cholesterol and other things in your body we don't want. We've got our walnuts that give us some of our omega-3s. Look how beautiful that looks.
Okay, that's going to be our crust. Now, I forgot to tell you, but I've got my oven got hot again already at 375, preheated. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. It takes about 10 minutes to cook this. So we're going to put it in. Set the timer. Okay, now, out of here. I'm going to move my food processor and bring in my Vitamix. Okay. Now what I want to show you first with these apples, before I start on that, is how I chop them. Just my regular, let me get this a little bit weight off.
And these are Gala apples. Those are the kind of apples Georgie and I enjoy the most.
Yeah, you can use the Macintosh, you can use the Fujis. The Galas, we get these at Trader Joe's, they got a nice little size to them. What I'm going to do is, you can use an apple core, which is this. You set it in the center of your apple and push down. Now, I leave the skin on my apples.
Because we use organic apples.
Yes.
If you don't have organic apples, you probably want to peel them, since apples are one of those fruits that apparently absorb a lot of pesticide. It's always part of the Dirty Dozen list from the Environmental Working Group. But if you buy organic apples, you can leave the skin on and get all the nutrients that are still in the skin.
Now, if you did the apple core, you saw that was pretty quick. And then I'm going to just cut these little pieces. Okay, that's the way you do it with there. With the way I do it, I just cut my apple in half at an angle to get the core out. The other part of the core at an angle. Nope, got a little piece there. And then just cut those in half.
And you pretty much want to try to make your pieces kind of even, Georgie?
Yeah, try to get about the same size. You can see I've got everything about the same size here. Just like nuggets. And then I want to show you one other thing before I break to just cut the rest of these. What I do for slices for the top of the apple to make it look nice and pretty is I'll take these and I'll cut them this way. Okay, so I'm going to be laying those on top of the apple. I mean on top of the pie. And let them brown up. So let's take one break and then I'll cut these and we'll come right back.
Okay.
Okay, my apples are all chopped. My crust is done. You want to see what it looks like? And it even smells, has a light cinnamon aroma with the baked apples or the dates in there. I turned my oven down to 350 from 375. Now what I'm ready to do is I'm ready to make the filling for the apple pie. I got 1 cup of the diced apples. I'm putting this in my Vitamix. Soy milk.
And always unsweetened.
Unsweetened. 3 more dates. Cinnamon. Walnuts. And I'm putting ground flaxseed in here. You want to make sure you grind it so you get the use of all of the nutrients that's in it, and it's going to act as a thickener. So we'll put that in there. We're going to blend this up to a puree. You might have to add some more soy milk to it. Which I believe I have to. That much. Let's see what happens. A little bit more.
While you're doing that, I see our pantry's open and you just organized our pantry. Should I give them a look?
Sure, go ahead.
I'll just kind of show you our pantry while Georgie's doing that. You can see. This is kind of what we've got. We like to make beans from scratch too, but if we run out of time, that's where we got all those canned beans. We eat a lot of onions in our house. All right, let's get back to the...
Stop this and push all of this down. Here anything. I want to see what that kind of looks like.
So what are you after?
Like a thick pancake batter.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You want to maybe show them with the spatula
Oh,
like
sure.
what it looks like? Uh-huh. That kind of
Okay,
resembles
yeah.
that.
So now what I'm going to do is stick the rest of my apples in my mixing bowl.
Now, we've only had this pie one time, and we thought it was so absolutely delicious. That was why we wanted to make it again and make a video for it.
Then I'm pouring my mix over the apples.
And one of the cool things about it is is that you have the the apples that were not in the blender, then mixed with the kind of the, this pancake batter mix. And when it's
Like an
you
applesauce.
bake and you eat it, oh my God, it is so delicious. It's just so good.
Okay, then I'm going to add my raisins. I'm going to mix this all together here.
There's quite a bit of cinnamon in this pie, so you need to be a cinnamon lover or, tamp down the cinnamon if cinnamon isn't one of your faves. But again, there's so many great nutrients in cinnamon, just like all the other spices and herbs.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour my mixture into my pan here.
So what were those other oats for that are still sitting
I'm
there?
not done yet.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a top crust.
Oh. And again, you can make this in a pie tin. We actually don't have a pie tin. Something for us.
The way I like
to get,
because
maybe.
What I like about this quiche pan is be what it's going to look like when I put it on the plate. Okay, oats.
So now you're gonna
Sprinkled in the top.
Yeah.
Put some apples first.
And these are organic, thick rolled oats. We actually buy the Bob's Red Mill brand. Sometimes you can find them in bulk though in some of the stores. Making it look real pretty. Look at that.
Put one in the middle. A little bit more oats.
This would be a great recipe to get your kids involved, especially, those of you who are trying to help your kids eat healthier and eat plant-based, and get them involved in making this recipe. It's just so easy.
Okay, and then I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit cinnamon on top. Not a lot, just to sprinkle some. Okay.
Wow.
That's what it looks like before I put it in the oven. Watch it. 350. Okay, everyone, there's my apple pie. It actually took about 35 minutes to cook it, but the reason that I know that it was cooked and not cooked is because of the texture of my pie. It's not soggy and it's got firmness to it. And I let it cool down for about 20 minutes so I can actually touch the pan to take it out. And that's one of the things that I usually have to do with these pans. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, the bottom, this is just a ring, and there is a plate like that that sits inside. That's what my crust sits on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push from the bottom. You want to come a little closer.
Oh, look how that nicely comes out.
See how that came out? Now, I have a crust here that you can see. Now, I'm not going to try to take it off of this bottom pan. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and cut it and then set it on my plate. So I'm just going to cut it to where I don't have to destroy all the apples.
Ooh, I can't wait to eat that.
Turn it this way. 8 pieces. This way. Okay, now I can slide it to the edge. I still have the pan down here. You can see the pan underneath. I don't know if you can. But
Not
anyway,
really.
Then I'll just set that on the plate like that. Okay, everyone, so there it is. I'm gonna take a slice, just take a knife underneath between the pan and the thing. There you go, check it out.
Look at that.
So put some, well, Denise likes to have chocolate and ice cream on top. You can put
Or on the side.
side.
Or on the side.
Sure.
Actually.
So I'm gonna go ahead and crunch into this. Rich, it's creamy. It's still got some nice texture for the crust.
I'm going to go take another close-up of what it looks like.
Delicious. Great. I hope everybody enjoys it. Thank you very much for sharing this recipe with us.
Okay, everybody, it's my turn. I can't wait to taste this. I'm going to put a bite in my mouth because I know it's going to be so good.
I just want to tell everyone there's 8 ingredients for this whole pie. The filling and the crust, 8 ingredients total. And it's whole food, plant-based. And there's no added oils, no added sugars, no added salt. The only sugar in it is from the dates.
Yeah, right,
You know?
whole food sugar in the little package. Okay, just showing you again. And you know, remember when Georgie was making it and he had the pancake batter part where he poured over, you know, all the other apples? It's like, that is just so delicious, that tasting of, you know, kind of that pureed mixture over the chunky apples, and then the crust, you know, with the oats and the nuts and all that cinnamon.
Dates.
It really reminds me of, you know, back in the day when I was not a healthy plant-based eater and I would eat like maybe a cinnamon roll, you know, with the white flour and just a lot of added sugar and some kind of fat. This is so amazing. It's so delicious. Reminds you of that, and nothing bad for your body. So we want to really thank Anthony for sharing this recipe with us, and let's give credit to
Dr. Furman,
because he is the one where Anthony found this recipe and kind of took it from 2 people. So Dr. Furman, he was the one who kind of made the filling.
The filling, yeah.
And then Kathy Fisher was the one who created the crust that was made for this recipe. So we'd like to just thank everybody. So try it out. You know, let us know on our YouTube channel what you think of it, and we'll let Anthony know too that hopefully other people love it. Make it for every day, make it for holidays, make it for breakfast, right?
I know we got pie for a week, so.
All right, remember, Anthony says, kids, you can eat this for breakfast.
And basically, it's what we eat for breakfast in the mornings almost anyway.
Except we usually eat groats.
Right.
The whole grain
But
of the
it's
oats.
still
but
oats.
yes, still
Yes.
oats, yes. Okay, everybody, tell your friends about the Happy Vegan Couple. And by the way, in case you never saw it, Georgie and I, in December of 2020, we were on Chef AJ's live YouTube show. And Georgie made 2 great recipes, baked onion rings and a
Yes.
wonderful soup. Barley and 4 kinds of mushrooms that was created by Ann Esselstyn, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's wife. Both recipes for anybody who's doing SOS-free plant-based. Both of those were. So you can find that on Chef AJ's YouTube channel. She does so many great things, so I also want to tell you about that. I think it was maybe December 2nd or 3rd of 2020 when we did that, and we had so much fun, you know, being on her show. So, until next time, I'm Denise.
And I'm Georgie.
And we're the
Happy
Happy Vegan
Vegan
Couple.
Couple.
Go
Go
plant-based.
plant-based.
Bye-bye.
Bye.